Hello, hello, Lisa Williams here. I am your system strategist, and I'd like to thank Notion Expert for web designers. So, Notion has been busy with feature updates, and if you've seen some of them, you may wonder what's going on or how can I use this? Or maybe you're just getting your feet wet with Notion and they're a little bit much. But I want to focus on three that are specifically what I think for web designers can be a game changer in the way you manage your projects, like your own internal projects, your client projects, your entire workspace. So I want to go through these three specifically and show you what's new and how you might be able to use them. And I'm also going to show you a client portal. So Rachel Green is one of our clients, quote unquote clients, but I'm going to show you her client portal from the client's perspective, so you can see how these things will play a part in what you can do for clients. But just know that these updates, these three that I'm going to show you, you can use them throughout your workspace for whatever you see fit. So the first I want to show you is tabs. So the tabs is fantastic. I will say that first. Each of these is fantastic, so I'll probably say that many times. But this little card looking deal here is the tabs. So this is a new feature that allows you to really minimize your page layout with linked database views or even toggles. So I have a toggle here and a call out because tabs remind me of if toggles. So if I click on a toggle, I can have everything inside the toggle and hide it when I want to. Or call outs, I can add anything I want here in this call out. But the tabs makes me think of if the toggle and the call out were to join and have a baby, we would have tabs. That's what comes to mind. So using this tabs layout is as simple as, let me just add a new page here, simple as pressing your backslash and going to tabs and then clicking on the tabs and you get your tab layout. So this is what it looks like, nice and clean and new. And then this is what it looks like when you can do something with it, or when you do something with it. So this has the tasks that are from my web projects database. So this project HQ that I'm inside of that I'm showing you is my example project headquarters that is a replica of my template that I have for sale on the website. So you can get this whole template and use it. I say template loosely because it's a whole system within Notion that you can use for your web design projects. Excuse me. But this is a replica of that, a copy of that I use for examples and tutorials and things like that. So this is a database, a linked view of a database inside this tab for the tasks. So if I click on it, I can rename it. I can edit the icon if I want to click a little for the task. And then this is a linked database view. And then over here, the meetings that I have. So these are the meetings that I have coming up for web design clients. And then assets. This is a PDF. I just for directions on how to download my template, but you can upload files here. You can upload images. You can do whatever you want. So if I need to click here, I can go to File and then click on File and then choose my upload. If I click here and go to Google Drive or Google Maps, Google Docs, I can do that. It'll connect with your Google. I can upload just an image and do that. So it's really a lot can happen within these tabs. So yeah, I think it's pretty fantastic. So you can add extra tabs here, and maybe this is documents. Maybe you have a specific, let me make this capital so it looks the same. Maybe you have a specific area that you want to just upload documents and then images and branding images, branding assets. Maybe you want to really split it up like that. So feel free to do that. Everything fits nicely in this little container of each tab, and it will expand if you have a long list of tasks or a long list of content. It will expand. If you have guidelines, you can just simply type in here. So maybe you have prep work that you want. So if I click here and do prep work inside this tab, I may have some prep work guidelines. I'm just going to be real short here. So I can add all of that here, and then they can just click across these tabs. So if I use this in my own workspace, I might have other linked databases. I've got tasks, I might have projects, I might have calls, I may have, whatever. I can put anything I want in here. So it's actually really cool. So the next update I want to show you is dashboard view. And this is even, if I could say cooler, I will, like it's even cooler than tabs. So the dashboard view allows you to have multiple views within one area. So instead of having columns with different linked databases that are all kind of separate from each other, or you have a row of, you have an area on your website that is, on your website, on your Notion page that has linked database views, full ones. This can really solve the issue of an over, a cluttered workspace. And even if it's not cluttered, it's just a nice way to, even if your page isn't currently cluttered, but it just gives a nice way to view different databases, information from different databases in one space, one nice space. So this dashboard view is actually inside a call out, just so I can put a little color behind it so you can see it nicely. But if I click on the edit here, you'll see that these little blocks are widgets. And then I have a plus sign on the side where I can add to the row. I can add something else here, and I'm just going to not do that right now. Or I can add down below, and it's going to ask me what database I want to link. Okay, so you can add up to 4 across and then down, but you can only have a total of 12. Okay, and a thing I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, the dashboard view, to do this, you have to be on a paid plan. So business plan, I do believe. So it may be any paid plan, but if I can remember correctly, it's the business plan, the business starter, something like that. So the dashboard view, within here, I have these 3 different views. This is the current projects I have. So this is coming from my web design project database. Again, from my example project dashboard area where I have my friends are my clients here. And you can see Rachel and Joey and Monica. And this is actually Improved Smelly Cat website, which is Phoebe. So I have tasks here that I have not started, in progress, and done. So I can kind of see a quick view of what I have going on as far as task wise. And then I have calls. So these are the calls that I have for web design projects. So each of these is a little widget within this dashboard. So I click on the settings and you can see I can do everything that I can do within a linked database view or any database. I can do here in these little widgets. Okay, I can filter, I can add, have property visibility. List seems to be my favorite view for, especially for something like this, because you can kind of make it a little more compact. But you can see the source is my project database. And then this is the same. This is my task, and this is a chart. So you can have different, different views available. So here's my little donut. I can have, I can put this any way I want. I can have just a list layout if I wanted that too. And then this is the meetings. So when I click done, they're all set in these little blue things. There we go. We're all set. And so now we can see our dashboard. So to add this, you would simply, let me click the plus sign down below here. So you would simply click the backslash and then start typing. You do dashboard, you just click dashboard view, and then you're ready to add your view. So you just click on new view. It will ask you what database you want to pull from. So here is my client database. And in here I have 4 clients. If I go to gallery, you can see that here are my clients, and I've got Ross hanging out down here. Maybe I only want to see web design clients here. So if the type is, or maybe I just want to see leads or prospects. Okay, so there's Ross. So you can filter this really any way that you want to, any one of these widgets. Then I can add another widget and so on and so forth. So up here, once I'm done, another really interesting feature of this dashboard view is that I can do global filters. So if this was on, say you work with a team or you have someone that works with you on certain projects, okay, maybe not every project, but they're kind of a freelance, they work with you on certain projects, you can actually create a dashboard view for them on their own page. This could be someone's dashboard view that you work with. And then I can set these global filters for assigned to, and you'll see I have projects database, I have meetings, and I have web task database. So each one of these have, all three of these have an assigned to property. So if I filter multiple resources, and I'm going to add that to filter, and I'm going to do assigned to, and you can see right here, it pops over here to my filter assigned to for the projects database. I'm going to add another for the meeting notes database, and I will add one more for the web task database and click done. So now it's asking me who I want to filter it to, and let's just say I do my husband here, which I've assigned as some tasks, and you can see how it's changed. There's 2 projects he's working on, and he's got 2 tasks that he has not started yet, and no meetings. Okay, if I were to now change that to me, I've got 2 projects that I'm working on. I've got tasks here, and I've got 1 call. Okay, so it's pretty interesting to see what you can do with these dashboard views versus having to have different linked views, and where you can do the global filter to filter for specific people, especially assigned to would be something that I can see myself using. And even if you wanted to assign, if you had it assigned to a client, you could do that. This is a client. This is my Rachel Green client that I use as for examples. But so you can do that for however you want. And then your dashboard here, all the views will filter to that. So I hope that was helpful. I really like this. I could see using this in Client Portal right now. My client portals are set with the tabbed view now, and some are still with the linked database views that I have, but the tab layout is really cool, but I could see using this as well. So let's go to the last update, which is the granular permissions. Now, this granular permissions has an extra layer to it. So this will give access so that clients can actually add their own tasks to what you give them access to. So let's hop over into my tasks database because this is where it starts. So this is the task database for all of the web design projects in this project HQ that I have. Okay, so this project HQ I have, and remember, this is a replica of the template that I have for sale, but this has all the databases, the core databases, and this is the web task database. So this has all of the tasks in it for all of my web design projects. So here you can see Rachel's web design project, and we have all of these tasks right here. We have assigned to, here's the 2 assigned to my husband, and we have these 2 client access. So the first step is to give client access to certain tasks that you want them to see. So this is a person property. So I would have the person property, okay? So I would add this person property, and then up here in the share, I would add a, let me actually remove this one for right now. I would add a rule that anyone in client access can edit. That means that I don't need to invite them to this task database. I can simply share their client portal with them, and they would be able to view and edit, open, and interact with any of the tasks that I give them access to. So right now, Rachel has access to these 2 tasks. So let's pop over into Rachel's client portal. So this here is Rachel's workspace, and here is the tab layout I was just talking about. So here's the tasks. You can see that even though I have a lot of tasks that I'm doing for her web design project, she can only see these 2 that I've given her access to, okay, that I've done the client access on those tasks. And then here's the meetings and any assets. It looks like Rachel's uploaded a couple of images to her assets because she is a fashion merchandising manager. So she's added 2 images here so they can upload. You know, I could have put them there for her before I shared the portal, what have you, but she's got her little tab layout here that gives a nice clean area. So you can see that she has the access to open these and to comment. She can change any of the statuses, and she can write on the page and even complete it. She can check complete that she's done all of that. But what she can't do is create her own task. Okay, create a new task. You don't see that new task button. So if we come back over here to my task database, where we add this extra layer of permission is by inviting Rachel to this, or inviting your client to this task database. So you would click in the email, and you can invite them by an email. If they're already a part of your database, you can add them, just click on them, which Rachel, i.e. my full name, email that I use for Rachel is under my name. I should probably put it her name, but anyways, and we're going to move forward. So I would add my client here, and then right here under full access, I would come all the way down, and this no access is what you're going to click on. So seems a little backwards, but you don't want them to have access to this entire task database. So I'm going to click no access, and then right here is where I'm going to toggle on that they can create pages. So this will confirm that I want the client to be able to edit the pages they create. So I'm going to create page level access rule, and then invite, and then skip that. And then right down here is where that new rule is added, that it says created by can edit. And you'll see that this client can only create. Okay, so they can't do anything else to the database. They can only create a new task that's in for their client portal. Okay, so now if I come over to Rachel's client portal, and I'm just going to refresh here, and now you'll see she has the new page. So now she can click on to add a new task, and she can create her new task and put a due date on it for herself, maybe. And then now she's got a new task, and she can open it. Oops, didn't want to do that. I clicked the complete on accident. She can open it, and she can now interact with it. She can type on it. If she comes over here, you'll see that she has no access to certain things. If she wants to click on her client, she can, and she doesn't need to give herself client access. But anyways, she can add her own tasks, and then she can't do anything else. Okay, so over here, I can see that she's added a new task. Okay, and I'll be able to see this a lot clearer in her project dashboard, which I'm going to show you in just a second what it looks like for just her project. This is my entire task database. So once you set this up, you wouldn't have to come back here again. But you can see where she set the new task. So if I come here to my main dashboard, so this is where the web design projects are managed. And I can see here, I've got tasks, and I go, okay, Rachel's created a new task. I can come in here and assign it to her if I want to, but she already knows it's hers. She's already doing it. If she has to ask a question or something, she will have tagged me, but what have you. So if I open up her web design project, so this is Rachel's web design project. This is what it looks like now. And here you'll see Rachel's new task. So this is only for Rachel and her web design project. I've got meetings if we have any meetings coming up. And then this is where I add tasks to the task database. So I simply click these buttons, and the task will show up. All of the tasks will show up automatically. So this is her client workspace. And here you can see, similar to what she's seeing, I have the meetings and the assets, right? And there's her two assets that she uploaded. And here I see all of the tasks because this is my Notion. So I see everything, not just what's assigned to her. So if you do give client access, that's one thing to keep in mind, is that you want to look at it from the client's perspective, like this here, so you can see what they're seeing, but I see everything here. So I hope this has been helpful, that you're able to add these tabs in the dashboard view and have these granular permissions. Set this up. Comment below if you're going to use any of these. If you need help with any of this, you can go to my website. In the description, I have a Notion whole business system for web designers that you can enroll in, and I have this project HQ web design dashboard. I say template loosely, but because it's more of a system, like I said in the beginning. So I have this whole system that you can integrate in with what you're already using Notion for. But this would be to manage your web design projects with the project template, all of the tasks in buttons that you just click and the tasks are added. So if you want more information about that, you can see the link in the description. And take care. I will see you soon. Bye bye.